Hey everyone, I'm Cookie Brothers with FCF International. Today we're talking about something that's not always easy, but super powerful, living a life of bold faith. I know, bold faith sounds like something you might expect to see in a superhero movie, right? But I promise you it's more than just a cool catchphrase. It is real. It's a real everyday adventure with God. So let's jump right in James chapter 1, verses 2 through 4. I love this verse. It tells us, "Count it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. But let patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing." I know. That's not exactly the feel-good verse that we'd expect. We're in the middle of a tough season, right? Count it all joy? Like, seriously, joy? But here's the thing, when we're walking by faith, we know that God's already got the victory in the bag. He's already done it all. So remember when we talked about Colossians 1, verses 11 and 12 before, being strengthened with all power according to his glorious might, for all endurance and patience with joy, giving thanks to the Father? Yeah, I see these verses working together beautifully. When trials come, and trust me, they will come, we're called to count it as joy. And God gives us the strength we need to endure and stay patient with joy. I mean, who knew patience could have joy as a sidekick? That's pretty cool. Seriously, it takes bold faith to face trials with patience and joy. And let's be real, it takes faith to give thanks when everything's falling apart. But you know what? We do it because we know that faith gives us the victory over every challenge. We don't just hope it works. We know it's going to because he is true to his word. Thank the Lord. Now, let's think about the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in Daniel 3. These guys didn't just have faith, they had bold faith. They refused to bow down to the king's idol and found themselves facing a fiery furnace. No backup plan, no emergency exit, but here's the real kicker. God showed up, and he showed up big and delivered them from the fiery flames. Now, that's some pretty bold faith, don't you think? I do. Well, that bold faith, it requires total dependence on God. Faith isn't about trusting in our own wisdom or making a plan and hoping God tags along. No, it's about trusting him fully, even when the path ahead looks like a total mystery. Proverbs 3, verses 5 through 6 puts it this way: "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding." It's pretty straightforward. But the challenge comes when we think we have it all figured out for ourselves until we don't. So here's another powerful thing. Faith leaves a legacy. Our faith today shapes the future, not just for us, but for generations to come. In 2 Timothy 1, verse 5, Paul says it this way: "When I call to remembrance the genuine faith that is in you, which dwelt first in your grandmother Lois and your mother Eunice, and I am persuaded is also in you." So, ministry leaders, are we setting the kind of example of bold faith that our younger generations need? Are we showing them that faith isn't just about showing up to do church or about trusting God even when things don't make sense? You know what? I haven't always done that. There have been times, quite a few recently, that I failed to trust God fully, tried to take control myself, leaned on my own understanding, but it seemed safer. But here's the truth. It was fear, not faith. It's easier to be passive and just sit back and hope things work out, but I've learned faith is never passive. It's active, it's intentional, it's trusting God when the world says give up, and believing for the impossible and stepping out boldly on his promises. And that's the life I want to live, a life of bold faith, a life that leaves legacy for my family and for those that I serve. And I pray that you too will rise up in bold faith. Trust God, even when the path ahead's unclear, because He's faithful. And when we walk with Him, we're never walking alone. Now listen, if this kind of bold faith message stirs something in you, then you really need to be with us this summer at Vanguard 2025 Paradigm Shift, June 10th through 12th. This year's theme is all about stepping out of the old mindsets, walking in faith, fearless boldness as the church. We're talking about faith that doesn't flinch, ministry that's not limited by comfort zones, and leaders who dare to believe big again. It's going to be packed with worship, teaching, prayer, connection, a whole lot of boldness. Mark your calendar, book your spot, and come ready. We believe God's going to meet us there, and in a very powerful way. Now, one more thing before I go, I want to personally invite you to our Q2 FCF Roundtable happening May 8th. The theme is prayer, and not just prayer for others, but prayer for you. As leaders, we're constantly praying for our church, giving out of ourselves, praying for our families, our communities. But let me ask you, who's praying for you? Who do you reach out to when you need covering, when you need agreement, and when you need strength? We weren't designed to carry the weight of ministry alone. So this roundtable is a space to be refreshed, to be encouraged, and reminded that even leaders need lifting up. So we're going to talk about intercession, support systems, how to cultivate relationships that go both ways, where you're not just pouring out, but also being poured into. So join us May 8th at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time on Zoom. It's free, it's powerful, and it's for you. And the links to register for both of these events are in the description. All right, family, thanks again for tuning in. Let's keep living bold, leading strong, and trusting fully.